when you told me we were going to introduce a news segment at no juncture of that conversation, did you say that you were going to dress up like a 70s newscaster?
I mean, you're going to have the news.
Here I am, sitting here like a jerk. He looks like a jerk, too, because we look the same, so... Two jerks.
Yeah, why are you both in Phoenix gear?
I don't know. I thought that's the tie. I saw what he was wearing, and so I decided.
Everybody was wearing.
First off,
Phoenix.
most of this is minor league, and second, I mean, you've heard of Jersey Suit. This is Suit Jersey.
Well, minor league. I mean,
but
Coyotes were.
Don Cherry gave us all these stories for so many years.
Do you remember when the microphone was here and we kept doing that?
And
that
people
one person comments like, "Stop doing that! Stop hitting the table."
Next on Ugly Thirds.
Well, welcome back to another episode of Ugly Thirds, a news segment we're starting today. It's called...
What do we call it?
What's in the News?
Hey!
Gentlemen, take it away.
Yeah, we probably should have workshopped that. I just put in a placeholder, and that's what made it to air. So that's good.
We're not stopping.
That's good. Look, the number of times people will send us things, we notice things, and we don't... It's not big enough to make a story of.
Right.
So... when it's really big, we'll hop on Zoom and we'll have a news story, and usually that's a big deal. But I wanted to get to all the other stories, so we're gonna.
Yeah, and most of this is minor, in some capacity. It's not a big deal, but it's still aesthetics of the game.
Right, and for us to throw an opinion on, and so we figure a monthly. News segment, though I imagine most of them will end up being on Zoom, which there's nothing wrong with that. We get to watch Phil rage at the computer. It's great. But we're here, we're filming, and we might as well knock this one out. So,
my knee-jerk reaction was to catch whatever he's going to throw at you, so...
He's ready. He's ready for it.
Let's do it. I don't know what's first.
Up first, so we are going to cover some stuff that is a little old. We're going to get into, most of this stuff is new. One of these stories broke yesterday. Okay. But first, if you have Jersey news, send to either. You can go old school with the email, or you can message me on Instagram at HockeyJerseyGuy. We're there. So grab it, send it. If we don't find it on our own, we'll gladly take. Many of you have done this already, which is kind of what started.
That's the purpose of it all.
Yeah.
I gotta
so,
move over this
up
way.
first... a little bit of older news, but we never did make any comments of it. The Utah Hockey Club, 3 looks leaked. If you want to full screen that, Phil.
There you go.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show the jerseys are exactly the same as the current jerseys with logos in it. And the next slide shows a zoom in on the logos. The 3 names that have made it are Mammoth, Outlaws, and Hockey Club. Largely because Yeti was rejected by the Copyright Office because the coolers and ice hockey are too close.
Didn't you see as the perfect segue into sponsorship for...
You'd think so. You'd think they would have cut a deal on that and be like, yeah, okay, we're your sponsor. We're just going to be an unpaid sponsor for the first 5 years or something, that's the payment. But no.
I hate that the Hockey Club logo is the best one up there.
And that's going to skew it. And I swear if they keep Hockey Club and we get a soccer-like nonsense, you can probably come back to the multi-shot. I swear if we get a soccer nonsense, that is by far, okay, there's a lot I hate about soccer. I am renowned for my hatred of soccer.
Yep.
But the refusal to brand anything... SC is not or FC is not a team name. It's not a team name. Or
no.
How many Uniteds are there in the soccer world? It's unacceptable to me in the modern... Okay, if you predate that stuff, that's one thing. Montreal Canadiens is not exactly setting the world on fire on a name. Maple Leafs, but they've been around so long, you don't question it. That's exempt. But in the modern world, in 2025, we should not have a hockey club as that's it. It's not okay. Clearly they took the Yeti logo, or at least the Yeti secondary logo, plopped it there, and I wonder how much that is going to skew the results as people went and saw this and said, ooh, logo. Because the other 2 logos are trash. It's EA Sports Create a Team trash.
It's the Utah Mammoth, the Colorado Mammoth, the lacrosse team, and a pretty good one at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so close. It reads so much into minor league sports or secondary league sports. The Outlaws... is probably the safest bet.
It's safe. It's nice. Well, they didn't even include it, and the fans are like, no, you need to include it on this
because they knew what they had.
They knew what they had.
My gut tells me it's going to be Outlaws.
I hope it is. Like, I got nothing against Mammoth. I thought Yeti was getting cheesy. Like, okay, Kraken, you got one cryptid in. Now do we need all the cryptids in professional sports? So I was never a huge Yeti buy-in. Outlaws is dull, but at least it's fine.
Yeah, it's a safe play.
It's a safe play.
But that logo with the Yeti and the mountains and everything is so well done.
I would love for them to find a way to integrate something of that into the branding regardless.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that this whole thing right here that we see on the screen, for Outlaws, that we can do just a little bit better than what we see there. But
yes,
remains to be seen.
Something that everyone loves to talk about, and I have honestly never cared about. Next slide, Phil, and you might want to zoom in on this one.
Full screen.
By zoom in, I meant full screen. Thank you, Shrimps. There's rumor coming from the next CBA talk that white at home could be included in that.
Love that.
And some color v color games, which that's the one part I'm excited about. So, look, I'm in the vast minority on this. I know this, that I don't care about white at home. Like, I've never felt it was special. I've never cared that I'm wearing the same, like, a white out. I'm like, well, the home team's not wearing white. That's never fazed me. If anything, when I label what jerseys I'm wearing, and when I go into school, and like sometimes the white is the home and sometimes it's the road, and or how you figure how few the white jerseys sell regardless. You know how hard it is to find white jerseys.
Yes,
they short print them. Everyone buys the color jersey, but that's not the home jersey, and I just find that strange. Of like everyone's buying that's the road. So I've never cared. It's never been a big deal. Football, which I know baseball's doing white at home a lot longer than football has, but the NFL just rules the sports world. We all know this. If you're in North America, the NFL is everything, and they wear color at home. People just expect.
I like what the AHL has done this year, where they split white at home half the year.
There's a lot of leagues that have done that for a long time.
I like the idea of it. It's fun, and you can play with those ideas of a whiteout in the playoffs, or you remember the first year that Phoenix made the playoffs. I mean that whole arena, whatever it was called back then, was just awesome to look at. You didn't wear Phoenix today, so
no, I know. I didn't.
That story doesn't really hit.
But it's like they explained it in 2005 that when you most third jerseys are colorful. There are very few white third jerseys because white jerseys don't sell. So when a team is trying to wear their third jersey at home, the road team has to pack their white jerseys. And if they're on a road trip, they either have to confer with the other teams to also let them wear white on the road.
It's got to be coordinated.
Or they got to take two sets of jerseys. And having worked with hockey teams, that's a bear.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real bear to pack. And that's a whole other set of bags, a whole other set of things. And I don't know.
So I've got my Three Sabres Fanatics jerseys ready to be customized whenever they decide to make the playoffs again. But starting this year, they were on the road over in Europe, and I'm like, awesome! I've got two patches ready to go for a home and a road. They played both games in white. Like, they did not even bring the blue jerseys with them. So
that extra cost, that extra taking care of equipment, just didn't happen. So. Look, we've even been suggested of make that a challenge thing of argue about it. I've never cared much. I don't.
It'd be cool to see the color on color game.
I think that's absolutely.
Which Winter Classic was it? It was Detroit.
14 was Detroit Toronto.
It's the one that's actually in the tweet.
Ah, very good.
There's no reason that you can't play blue versus red. You can't play some gold versus blue. You can find the ones. It's not going to be everyone. You're not going to have Nashville and Philly playing.
Boston, Pittsburgh.
Well,
I'd love it. Sign me up.
You're going to have teams that'll never be able to. And I don't want to go all the way to it's you have your jersey and a Clash jersey. Let's not go to soccer. But every once in a while, you want to make a weekend game, something special, nationally televised. Why not? Why not? I always thought it was silly that you have to have a white jersey. In NCAA, white counts. You can wear Yellow, gray, gold, or white.
Nice.
So
It's kind of cool.
yeah, and that's I have a weird fascination with teams that can wear the same jersey home and road. Like you have that gold jersey and you're able to wear it home and road, and then you do just have that's fun when you get that one team that kind of plays with
Cost
that.
cutting measures.
Yeah, well,
If there's anything you love more than nostalgia, it's nostalgia baiting and like trying to get people into the idea. This is a segue into the idea of pitching back to a time when things were simpler, better, and it's been done so frequently, and you are all for it. This is.
I was really hoping Phil would take away and go to the next slide to surprise people with it now, but the Providence Bruins.
You told me next slide.
No, I said you're going to be going to a new slide.
You want to go to the next slide. That's what you
didn't-
said.
I was also trying not to talk over Shrimps. The Providence Bruins have thrown back to the Teenage Mutant. That's not very nice, Phil. Have thrown back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Their heroes on a half shell. With some pretty awesome, and really the next slide is that's the slide that matters.
Am I allowed to go to the next slide?
Well, I'd hope you'd full screen it too. That logo is brilliant. You want to break it down, Trims?
It's Meth Bear, but we've given them was it Michelangelo was the orangish one? Oh, there is no yellow one, so we'll call it close enough to Michelangelo. And I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember all the colors of the Ninja Turtles, which is good. I, as a one-off, like this is, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is probably for charity, and they auction these off for charity.
Yeah,
so it's always for a good cause.
And there's a Comic-Con. I know that's why they did it, but I guarantee it's a charity related to that Comic-Con. And I couldn't find a great picture of the logo, so that's actually a knockoff that you can buy, because the next slide is going to show the interesting details of the numbers at the back. Well, I mean, like, I get you wouldn't like. Okay, now let the people see it. Not only do they have a sublimated shell on the back and that fantastic number font, but I love when the sleeve numbers are not excluded, and so you can see a Ninja Turtle with the number on it.
It's so much. It's so much.
But I mean, that's the fun of this stuff. That's doing it right.
And that's where I've found more value than I originally did in minor league sports, is that you have the opportunities to do these things. You sent me an article recently about baseball teams that are doing the minor league baseball teams that are doing theme nights. And some of the stuff they're coming up with is just awesome.
The hooch pooches and the Jersey diners and good stuff. A really good job by Providence here. It's amazing. It hits all the 90s nostalgia. It's perfect.
Which you love. You love 90s nostalgia.
I can get it for a night. If you want to make a Ninja Turtles team, I'll push back. You want to have a night of fun, go for it.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, I know your limits now.
Yes. Up next, Wheeling Nailers. No, we're going through the coast, ECHL. I know it's not on the East Coast anymore. Wheeling Nailers did switch to new uniforms this year, and I think they're fantastic. I need to get that third jersey.
They've always had a good look.
Yeah, for a weird team name and a weird logo, they've nailed it.
Now you've been to that barn before.
Yes.
I believe you told me that there's always that like fear in the back of your head that it's going to start crumbling around you while you're at the game. But I mean, what else is there to do in Wheeling, besides the Fiesta Wear outlet? And
obviously, you go gamble. That's what every Pennsylvanian did for years and years till they found like gambling's now everywhere. But Wheeling Downs is
this town has embraced the hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is through and through a social event on a Friday or a Saturday.
And it's a great barn. Like the amount of history, the display case. There's a mural of the founding of West Virginia. Like it's amazing. The rebellious counties, I say, as an honorary, as an adopted Virginian. Give me that 49-star flag. Anyway. I had a coworker, proper Virginian, go just dropping as part of a conversation. Then maybe we can have one United Virginia again. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's amazing. Anyways, I digress. Let's look at what they actually did. They brought it back.
It's back.
It's back.
It's back.
The Robo Pen jersey.
Now-
Go ahead. You can full screen, Phil.
Help me understand. Is there any affiliation to Pittsburgh whatsoever?
Oh yeah, they are the ECHL affiliate.
Okay.
Like that is a proper.
Those things
Parent
change
club.
hands so frequently.
They've been with Pittsburgh for a long time now.
Long time.
Okay.
I think the same amount of time as Wilkes-Barre. Like that's been like one of the more consistent.
They locked that down, and I'm pretty sure it's always been.
It's so well done.
It is,
like,
yes.
so well done.
They did a perfect job of translating it. I'm pretty sure I got at least one more slide of it, Phil. Yeah, the back is exactly as it should be. Like they took it from the OG. They did it very well, very very well. You can bring it back to us, I think. Yeah, I mean, like it's this jersey. They brought it back, and there's rumors that the Penguins have been fishing for which jersey would you like to see come back as a third next, and I would be amazed if it's not this, because the 90 nostalgia, the new ownership does not care about Lemieux's opinions on not liking that logo.
They don't care about winning either.
Oh, truth.
They came back and won that game on Thursday.
But they
And
lost
they
against
how many
Boston.
since?
They're the second to last. Yeah, they have not been that low in over a decade.
We got the Dick Tarnstrom years.
I'm glad I got my Tarnstrom jersey handy. Okay, well, all right. If you can get rid of that, Phil.
New slide, or can I?
No. Take away the slide.
You want me to get a
switch, and then you can bring it back full to the next slide. Let's work on we'll get our transitions
We
going.
staying on the East Coast?
Yeah, we'll stay on the East Coast with the ECHL. The Maine Mariners. Let me show you their usual look. No, I meant full. You go full screen first. There we go. Maine Mariners. So the home. I love the look. First off, I love green and blue. I like green and blue as well. I'll usually.
I mean, as a Laker, I get that.
Right, like it has been baked in, and then they have the Bruins affiliate third,
which is brilliant.
And the main logo is excellent. It harkens back to some older Maine Mariners looks. It's great. Great.
We were close to going to one of these games.
Yeah.
It's about an hour and 20 minutes, I think, outside of Boston. It would have been pushing it. Like we would have to leave one game and head up and do another one. But I always thought their look was awesome. Like just
yeah, they've nailed it. And the fact that ME is the postal code for Maine, and so the trident is the E. Like it's brilliant. It's a brilliant logo.
But lay it on me.
So go full first.
Full screen, Phil.
You know how difficult this is?
I'm making you work.
I see your hand cramping.
Now, full screen.
Full screen on
Yes,
the new
please.
slide. Maine Night.
Goodness.
Look at that. It's based on the 1901 Maine flag that they just had a referendum to replace the Maine flag,
And it
it failed, which kills me inside.
Failed.
It's a very basic flag, but it is so well beloved by Mainers. And just look at that jersey. Look at the uniform. The tree on the socks. Usually I hate a logo on the socks. It's perfect.
It is. This is what in the NHL can't do it.
No.
But this is what brings minor league sports to that level aesthetically. The ability to do this and do it so well. I just wish there was more exposure for things like this, because this is, and you're not going to see these outside of game-worn auctions that go towards a charity of some kind, but
which is also a shame, but I also understand the costs involved, and if you don't want dead stock sitting around, really you kind of have to do pre-orders and send them out. Like that, I think that I hope more minor league teams will start doing that. Of like, yes, you can buy one, pre-order it. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I wish there would be a pro. You know, the MLB does the City Connect. Did the City Connect? I think it's over.
Sure.
And I realize they got 162 games to play with. It's twice as much as the NHL. But I would love if the NHL would make a program, kind of like Reverse Retro, of let's connect the local jerseys, local pride
Community
jerseys.
Connect.
Community,
Something like
yeah,
that.
like something interesting. I would love it, even if it was for 1 or 2 games. Because, again, we've done Reverse Retro. There was nothing significant to make that happen other than we need cash.
Now, let me ask you a question, because this has come up before in a very controversial way. A team like the Devils, are you connecting to Newark? Are you connecting to the state of New Jersey? Because if it's City Connect, they have to be in Newark. Florida has to be in Sunrise. Do you know what's in Sunrise? A mall. A massive mall that you park at and walk across the street, so you don't have to pay $30.
Considering that the
parking.
Pittsburgh Maulers were the USFL team, I don't see why you can't have that in here.
It'd have to be
you do have to keep it nice and loose. You have to give them opportunities to, like, okay, well, what region? Like, what Minnesota? Are you going to do the whole, or are you going to do, which Twin City is it? You know, like...
There are some nuances that kind of complicate the idea.
I would love a local thing.
You can still buy these.
Can you?
Shut up.
They're $130.
That's nothing.
There's nothing.
Hey, have you bought one already? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I know,
Is
because
that why you're shaking,
it's fun.
Phil?
It's
Is
fun.
I got it.
I always spent all the touring money I made today already. Come on. No, but it's funny. I went to the ECHL Maine website, and then you can click from the team store from there, and their link was broken. I had to do a different search. Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
They're still there.
And the ECHL team store has a bunch of, like, dead stock all-star jerseys from, like, a decade ago in sizes no one wants. So
Well, they have like 5X
teams that aren't
here.
around anymore.
You can't find 5X for a regular NHL jersey, but 5X.
We could all fit into a 5X. That could be a fun short.
There we go.
So next team we go to visit, we're gonna put one of those big jerseys, and that's gonna be how we do our.
That'd be good. I'd love to share a space with you.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the main set before.
Yes.
All right.
You figure this out.
Now I want to appease.
Up next, so breaking news as of time of filming, the Worcester Railers. We're not going far away from Maine. In fact, we're going to one of Maine's rivals. The Worcester Railers are going to be playing as the Monkey Wrenches.
I love that.
Go ahead, Phil. The Monkey Wrench was created in Worcester.
Of course it was.
Invented and patented.
Of course it was.
And so they are leaning into the local heritage for a weekend. That weekend that we're currently filming in. But there was a problem. Next slide, Phil.
Like,
Am I have to zoom out in it? Like,
No,
wait,
you just go next slide. The Bison, Bloomington Bison showed up in the wrong jerseys. They packed their whites.
oh,
And so my connection there, Pat, was this is an off-ice official's nightmare of it's off-white versus white and trying to track players. Go to the next slide, Phil.
Actually,
You can see it in that slide. The picture's there of, like,
the expression on his, like, with the hands up, like, oh no, like, it's just perfect. You picked a perfect picture for this slide.
oh yes. The Bisons packed the white sweaters to wear against off-white. So they played the game. Go ahead, Phil. Next slide.
oof! I gotta lean in on this one.
Can you tell who's who?
Actually, yes.
No, not easily.
Not easily, but yeah, one's more of a pistachio green kind of look to it.
Well,
With
yeah.
the picture, yeah.
But the league stepped in and said because of the jerseys, they will not play the second game as the Monkey Wrenches. And so Worcester had to break out their home blues to play the rest of the weekend because Bloomington botched it.
Good heavens.
Yeah, but that's the inside track of that. They brought the wrong unis, and so you had off-white versus white.
Love it.
Ordered, FYI.
Well then, that's gonna be a short, and we'll see if I'm gonna have to. I don't have much need for Maine. You come back to us.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
Give it away.
God. And we've gone off the rails, Phil. End the show.
Utah has another hockey team. The Utah Grizzlies are still around. I think it's ECHL.
Are they?
Well, I mean, considering
Yes.
that I had to Google
Yes.
to find these.
Yes, they're ECHL.
Yes. So we're gonna keep bounce around the coast, all the way to the coast of Utah.
Okay.
And they had fishing night. Phil?
Good heavens.
Look, I have a soft spot for whenever they use the pants and the socks together as one. Like they integrate them to make it look like something. It's ugly as sin, but this is what this is the fun of the minor league.
Yeah.
This is the fun you can have that you cannot have in the show. This is why hockey players work their way up to no longer have to do this nonsense. But it's fun. I really think it's fun.
I get the idea of not having to do this nonsense anymore, but I wonder if when you're past your career and you're looking back and being like, wow, that was kind of cool. Like, if you truly appreciate the aesthetics of the sport and the jerseys and the opportunities, like, you did some things that you'll never see again.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice way to look at it.
Those guys will have to buy their jerseys back from the people that we're going to see at the show in a couple of weeks here.
Well, there's trades, you know.
Yeah,
here's this
sure.
other game jersey I don't really care about. All right, Phil, take it away. Prepare for next slide. Hershey. Speaking of game-worn jerseys and number of different things, Hershey has unveiled a new one, the Chocolate Town alternate. Phil?
I love this patch so much. It's so cool.
Yeah, though the shoulder patch is by far the best part.
Yep.
I hate these other ones.
It looks like a ringer tee for a baseball team.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's certainly a throwback to the Reebok era and the worst parts of the Reebok era.
It was cool being at that arena where they had the jersey history on the wall while we were waiting for our drinks. It was. I didn't realize the history that was there in Hershey hockey until we were standing in front of me like, wow, they've been around a long time.
A long time. And this is one of their words. I got nothing against them calling themselves Chocolate Town. Okay, nicknames are not for the show, but this is not the show.
Yeah.
And the bear is fine, but it disappears there. The stripes are nothing. It's terrible. It's a terrible alternate.
It's a long sleeve T-shirt.
It's like swoosh like this. It's like apron effect there. Yeah.
There's just there's no need for any of that.
But the patch is cool.
The patch is cool. The patch is very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Phil.
All right, so I'm going to stop this because they're just rambling. So we're going to pause this video.
You talk over me. You tell me what to do.
So tune in later this week for the rest of this episode here on Ugly Thirds.
You can't do this to us.
Oh, I just did.